look at these steals, man. Oh,
like you can see his like face through his face hole.
Yeah. Yeah. No threat, nigga.
I'm ready to have my socks blown backwards.
Wait, I'm gonna just play the whole thing and then I'm gonna go back.
I've been on quite the adventure, little brother.
I reckon it's got something to do with that girl.
What do I have captions of?
Everything to do with that little girl.
Freaking captions out of here.
You know,
September, you say?
I've never been this close.
I think that's Outbreak Day.
Almost right around the corner.
It's the outside.
So is that everything you hoped for?
I know what I'm getting you then.
Can it?
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Once upon a time,
bro, look at him dancing.
Cared about. And in this world, that's good for one thing.
Okay.
Get you killed.
Look at all the textures.
Rebuilt from the ground up.
This is the kind of thing a remake should be.
You make every shot count.
I got this.
Oh my lord.
I've had some practice.
Oh my lord. It don't matter how many times I played it. I want to play it again. Also in development for the
That's what I was looking for.
PC.
That's what I was looking for. Yes, sir.
It's coming to PC, man.
Yes, it is. It's gonna look the most beautifulest and ever beautiful.
See, the multiplayer, they're not doing the factions for this.
Is it gonna tie it into the second?
No, they said Neil himself. He said that this game is gonna the new one that they're making is pretty much gonna be it's gonna be a whole standalone game. The newer multiplayer, it's gonna be entire standalone, and it's gonna have it's gonna be like the biggest game that they ever made, like bigger than the first one and the second one.
Okay.
So I think this is actually gonna be factions. Like you're gonna have, when you join a faction, you're actually gonna join a group of folk fighting off other folk, fighting off the environment. I think they're gonna actually like huckle down and make like a whole big old standalone game. And that, I don't know if that thing is coming to PC. That was gonna be my next question. I don't know, because the remake part 1 that's coming to PS5 and they're developing that for PC.
Right.
And part 2,
part 2 isn't on PC, is it?
No, it ain't. Not, or at least not yet. They may be doing that too, but factions is gonna be strictly multiplayer.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. If it comes to PC, it's gonna be a lot of terrorists terrorizing my game, and I do not want these terrorists
better learn
to
that
be
mouse and keyboard, boy.
Man, even if I do, this dude's gonna be cheating. There's no way. There's no way to prevent the cheating.
I don't know. There's something that technical that might keep the servers separate.
Oh, man, I don't know, man.
But that's the thing. That's the thing. It's like if they're not bringing The Last of Us 2 to PC, then they're not bringing that factions to PC.
If they brought part 1,
yeah, well, part 1 is how many years? Like almost 10 years old now.
I know, but this is the thing. Why put one part on if you're not gonna put the second?
Oh, plenty of people do that. Like looking at this and going, well, technically it's like a remake.
I don't know. It's still a lot of people that had, even though this game came out in 2013, there's a lot of people that still haven't played it.
Yeah, and I think that's what they're banking on. But they're looking at,
and it's a lot of people that would play it on PC rather than play it on the PlayStation.
I think it's more whether or not they would spend money on it. Like they're not making money off of The Last of Us 1 right now, like on like PS4 or anything like that or PS3. So it's like they make a remake and put that bad boy on PC. It's like, all right, yeah, we'll make much more money from that. They're looking at The Last of Us 2 and going, well, we're still making money off of this, like PS4, PS5 sales. So I don't know if they'd want to jeopardize that. Plus, you know, they're still in Sony's pocket. So I really doubt Sony would look at this and go, okay, hey, that's a flagship game. But yeah, you can go ahead and put that on the PC. I'm not feeling too hopeful about it. I would love it. I ain't feeling too hopeful.
Nah, man. I can. So you can't see it coming to PC part
see
2?
it coming like eventually. I sure as heck can't see it like soon.
No, definitely not. I don't even think part 1's coming out.
They say
not
in
even
development.
It's probably coming out the later half of next year.
But I would say I don't see part 2 coming to PC until the sales for part 1 have beat it out. Oh, sorry, the sales
for part 1.
No, sorry, I don't see part 2 coming to PC until the sales for it on PS5 and PS4 have petered.
I don't even think they're looking at that.
Oh, I know they definitely, especially Sony. Like Sony's looking at that. It's like there's no way in heck you're going to jeopardize the sales of our systems by putting this on PC.
But the thing is, it's not jeopardizing the sales of the system if it's coming to if they announce that it's coming to PC, it's already putting it in jeopardy.
not for the first game though. It's like if they say, "Oh, the first game's coming to PC," it's like okay, like all the people who haven't played it in the last 10 years, they might get it on PC. But for the second game, like I'm looking at that and going, "Oh, hey, there are probably a lot of people who would buy a PS5 to play this game." It's like if you tell them it's coming to PC, then I'll just be like, "Oh, okay, I'll play it on my PC. I'm not gonna buy the PS5."
But part 2's been out for like it's gonna be 3 years. Part 2's been out.
I don't know how long they would consider would be like, or what length of time they would consider would be too long or too short.
Cause think about it, God of War came to PC pretty quick. To me, it came out pretty quick.
Yeah, it was like 2018, 2017.
Yeah, it came out pretty fast, and I didn't expect it to come to PC either.
I sure think it.
So if they could pull out a big money maker like that, slap that boy on PC, and not really worry about the sales, well, in terms of like pushing consoles, I think that they'll definitely put Last of Us 2 on there. I mean, probably not as soon as possible, but I think they'll try to get that out either. See, but I think that also depends on what they do with factions. Because if they put factions on PC, then I know they want to put The Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah, I think like that's
on there pretty sooner rather than later. Because I do believe Part 2 is coming to PC, but depending on the time, depending on whether or not the time frame is close to factions or Part 2, I think that's gonna be the biggest difference.
That's the thing. I think that's a determining factor for me. The determining factor for if factions is even come to PC is whether or not they'll put 2 on there. It's like I really would be interested to see if they're developing factions for PC right now. Because I really don't think they are. I really don't think they are. Definitely, I don't think like even right now they're thinking about developing it for PC. And that's the other thing. It's like, yeah, God of War came pretty fast, and even something like Horizon like came pretty fast. But The Last of Us, one thing we can't deny is that it's a flagship game. Like it's supposed to be the kind of game that like is so big budget that it sells consoles.
God of War too. I would say God of War is up there too.
It's up there,
and Spider-Man. They just announced Spider-Man. That you know, Spider-Man is gonna sell everywhere he goes.
But that's the thing is like if they're interesting put like Spider-Man came out, it was a baby of the PS4. Like whether or not that was coming out on PS5.
Because Part 2's coming out, and they got that
right.
Part 2's coming out to PS5, and they have Wolverine.
Right.
So that's two two beloved characters. They already seen what Spider-Man's done on the PS4 and what Miles Morales has done for the PS5/PS4. So them looking at those numbers, it's like, oh yeah, put that on PC. Why not? You don't really you get better fidelity, better graphics and all that, and you don't really compromise anything because they did have that game on PS Now, so it's like they've reached the PlayStation audience as much as they could. Right. So the next step is going to PC.
And that's what I'm thinking is like the determining thing for them. Because one thing I can guarantee you Sony doesn't care about is how good the game will look or how much better it'll look. Like they will care about the sales, but only in like the PC, but only insofar as it doesn't cut into their own sales of their own console. It's like you look at something like Spider-Man. Like I was surprised to see that Spider-Man was coming to PC. I was saying I'd imagine people would still be buying that game. You know, like it would still be the kind of game that sells consoles. Maybe they've reached the end for that. Whether or not The Last of Us 2 has done that, I don't know. Like I don't know if they've sold as many as they think they can sell on consoles to the point where it's like, okay, we open up to the PC now.
They did. Look at the legend himself. I still got to talk to you, Neil.
You get a haircut.
I still got to talk to you because my brother,
where the locks at?
He left us hanging for 2 years.
Yo, the man say it'll be done when it's done.
2 whole years.
That was Gotham Knights, and now we welcome. Oh, look who it is! Neil Druckmann from Naughty Dog, co-president.
Say he cut the locks.
Great to have you with us, Neil. It's been an eventful day on the internet for Naughty Dog fans, and
I think we jinxed ourselves. We were joking about last night, like, watch the assets will leak, and lo and behold, that's what happened.
Well, the good news is there's some stuff that hasn't leaked that we have lots to share with people about all things of Naughty Dog. But first of all, it is it's a big month actually for Last of Us fans because Last of Us 1 and 2 both launched in June, and it's nearing its 2-year anniversary for Last of Us Part 2, which is hard to believe.
2 whole years. You said nothing.
2 years for Last of Us
2 years already.
Part 2, and we still hear from fans. They're still sending us letters and art, and these characters in this journey and this world mean so much to them.
And they send them letters talking about where factions at.
Bruh, he seen my tweets. You seen the tweets, sir. We've been talking to you, man. Like, bro, where's factions? Like, whenever the game leaked, we saw the code, we saw the maps. It was like, hey,
I said I'll pretend I didn't see that.
Did not acknowledge it at all. And I could understand. Like, yeah, I wouldn't. I could understand because I mean people kind of trash Part 2. Like a lot of people was hating on that game.
I believe in the merit of like letting the game speak for itself when it's out. I mean,
yeah, like a lot of people was trashing. So I'm like, I wouldn't want to talk to y'all either. But if you got
last thing you want to be on the game circus, like what Sean Murray was, like being the face of it and being out there and promising all this stuff, and then having it come out, having it. Like you hype people up so much, and it's kind of lukewarm. So I mean, he was probably looking at this going, the game is speaking.
But I'm talking about after the game dropped, and we were like, hey, we played the game.
I'm talking about factions.
Where's the faction, sir?
I'm talking about factions specifically.
I know, but you gonna let it speak for itself, and you haven't said anything for 2 years?
Yeah.
Oh heck no! 2 whole years.
This man say y'all gonna play it when it come out.
Man,
y'all acting like y'all ain't.
I mean, yeah, but give us something.
That's a pretty big milestone.
Tell me now, I ain't getting it.
And that kind of support, that kind of success, we're so grateful to our fans. It has allowed us to grow as a studio, and now we can take on multiple projects, more than we've ever had at the same time.
Multiple projects. Okay, very interesting. So, what can Last of Us fans expect in the future from you?
Thank you for asking, Jeff. Yes. So one of the things we've mentioned a while back is what started out as a multiplayer mode has evolved due to the team's ambition. They really wanted to do something beyond what we've ever done before at Naughty Dog. And we felt the way to do it justice is to make it a standalone title. And they've been working on it for the past 2 years. Ambition has grown, and we're not quite ready to fully unveil it, but we're going to lift the curtain a little bit and just give you like an update.
Last of Us Battle Royale.
Okay. Hey, man, don't even put that out in the universe. Don't even say that.
Yeah, so we have the concept art that we want to
That's
show.
for Fortnite.
But what I can tell you is that this game is big.
Okay.
It's as big as any of our single-player games that we've done, and in some ways bigger. It's got a story. The way we're telling that story is very unique to this game. It's got a brand new cast of characters. It takes place at another place.
Sister with the curly
part of
hair.
the United States.
It's like a city might be somewhat familiar. Some people.
I'm sure our fans have already figured it out.
I don't know where that could possibly be.
And it's
Somewhere with a
and
bridge.
It's being headed by Agarwal,
A really big bridge.
Anthony Newman, and Joe Padnatti, all veterans of Uncharted and Last of Us. And you're going to see a lot more of this game come next year.
Next year. So wait till next year to hear more about that
year.
one. Okay. Well, very exciting that this has evolved, and I mean that concept art.
We got
looks
some
incredible. I can't
word.
wait to see Naughty Dog's storytelling
But,
infused with multiplayer.
He's talking about factions right now, isn't he?
It's
Yeah.
something special. Like, we-
Jesus Christ, y'all ain't got
Well,
nothing to
that's
show
not
yet?
all.
No, you said let it speak for itself. I said we've been waiting, sir.
No, but
We've
why?
been
But
waiting.
that's exactly my thing. It's like, yeah, she'll let it speak for itself, but why come on a showcase to be like, yeah, it's
No,
definitely it.
because I'm telling you, that's why I need to talk to him, because he don't care. Neil don't give two farts about freaking factions. He care about freaking Mr. Pascal, his HBO show.
Bruh, this
And-
was like when when Rockstar put out that tweet talking about, hey, guess what, guys? GTA 6 is in production. It's like, yeah, we know.
Yeah,
So
dude.
what?
That's what I'm saying.
what?
He's like, yeah, we've been working on this for the past 2 years. My brother, we saw the leaks. We know. We knew the game was coming out.
We know it's coming. Is that all you gotta say?
We knew all of this, man. Like
Okay.
working on this the
Alright,
past 2 years, bro. This man here.
Also have
This
something
isn't
that
even
we
letting the
talk
game
about on the
speak
internet
for
every day.
itself.
It
This is
feels
you
like,
saying,
oh
yeah,
my
there
God,
is a
we're
game.
filming the
Exactly.
Last of Us
Nah,
show for
nah.
HBO, right?
And the thing is, we would have been fine even if he was like, yeah, we're working on it. This man said nothing. He didn't even say anything about multiplayer. Nothing about multiplayer. The only thing that they said about multiplayer, without even like quote unquote saying it, is on their Twitter page, their Naughty Dog jobs, that they were hiring multiplayer testers and like multiplayer
Voice
map
actors.
designs, yeah, stuff like that. As far as saying like, yeah, we're working on it. Yeah, be patient with us. We're doing it. This man said nothing. This is the first.
Yeah, like-
this is the first time he's ever acknowledged
honest.
multiplayer.
That's the messed up.
This is the first time he's
Where's
ever
that?
even said anything about multiplayer.
Like, it wouldn't have been hard to have this showcase way back when. It's like, you could have put this out there. It's like, yeah, we're working on it. Because
But-
this is what you should have done 2 years ago,
but
if
this
anything.
is the thing. You see what we looking at? HBO Max. He's bridging that with this show. He don't care about factions. This man don't care. The people that care are the people that's making this freaking game. Cause Neil was like, look, we could tack it on with freaking part 2. They're gonna play it, but they were like, no, we want to do something bigger. He was like, all right, y'all work on that. I'm going to HBO. He said, look, we like he said, hey, we got some of the best support we ever had. Now we're able to work on multiple projects. That means I'm not there. I'm at HBO. These suckers are working. These suckers are working on factions. I don't
I
care.
said, hey, listen, Pedro Pascal said he can introduce me to Scarlett Johansson.
He said,
I'm sorry, y'all.
I will see y'all next year when I announce it.
Going to Hollywood.
Yeah, so for the past year, we've teamed up with Craig Mazin of Chernobyl fame and HBO to adapt The Last of Us into a TV show. They've been filming, and it's pretty incredible. The stuff I'm getting back, when we're looking at back at Naughty Dog, we can't help but feel emotional, because not only is it so good and the quality is so high, it's so authentic to what we've made in the game. I just can't. I couldn't be proud of, like, again, Craig and that whole crew and everybody that's up there. And their last day of filming is tomorrow. So
The entire series, last day of filming is
last
tomorrow.
day of filming is tomorrow. Craig is up there right now, kind of wrapping it all up. So it's pretty close. It's closer than you might think.
And you actually got to direct one of the episodes?
Yes, I think that really
One.
speaks to the kind of collaboration and trust.
You know the whole thing?
I did not know that. So it just hit me. He was like, yeah, Craig is over there wrapping it up right now. I'm like, yeah, so what are you doing? Why are you here? Shouldn't he be doing the show? But this man had one episode.
I thought you did.
I thought he had his back in it the way he been.
Yeah, I thought you were at least like a director on the whole.
As did I.
Thing.
One of the episodes.
Okay.
Yes, I think that really speaks to the kind of collaboration and trust that exists between Naughty Dog and HBO. They invited me to direct one of the episodes. I think we have an image from the episode I actually directed.
Ooh, okay.
An image?
So you could see this is a certain museum that players might know from the game. And I really have to talk about Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey and not only directing them, but seeing them.
Where's your beard, Pedro?
Throwing themselves at these roles.
Oh, brother. I'm already upset.
Watching the nuance they bring.
Hey, man, come on.
Their relationship on and off camera.
Cut Pedro a little bit of slack.
It felt
he had
so
to shave it
similar
off
to
for
the chemistry
Wonder
those
Woman.
two actors made the game, and it really feels like this is going to be something special. And I will say this will be the most authentic video game adaptation yet.
Should have got
Well,
Neil
I
to
mean,
play
that
Joel.
first image that they put out, it feels like the video game. Everything that I've seen, both public and other stuff, makes it feel sort of super legitimate, as you said, and that's awesome to see Joel and Ellie from the front side now for the first time. So we'll see more of that next year. That's coming as well, right? Serious?
You'll hear about it very soon. That's
okay.
all I'll say right now.
All right. Well, Last of Us HBO, very, very exciting. And I hear you actually have a couple actors from the show who are going to join us here.
We happen to have a couple actors here that are part of the show. We should bring them up.
Okay, come on up.
Pedro's here.
Oh, what's up, guys?
Hello.
Surprise.
I don't.
Back again.
Who this?
It's freaking Troy Baker and freaking Ashley Johnson.
Is that Troy Baker?
That's Troy Baker. I'm not gonna say I don't like Troy Baker, but I'm not fond of him.
Not Troy Baker. Like, I got a couple of actors from the show. No, I know Troy Baker.
Bro,
I
know.
Let me reserve my thoughts. I'm gonna wait to see what these fools gotta say.
I did not know man was that tall.
But Troy Ashley,
Nah, he like 6'3".
game, right?
So,
he a big dude. Nope, but also they're little too. Ashley and Neil, they're tiny.
Yeah, but
Troy,
he's towering over there.
Yeah, Troy's like 6 something. Bro, look at his neck. He looked like one of them giraffes Ellie was petting.
We said Troy and Ashley have to be a part of it. And we're such fans
man,
of
6'3". I did not know that.
talent and the helping us create Joel and Ellie. We felt like it was so important that they become part of the show. And it has to be more than just like kind of like a wink to the camera and like a cameo.
Okay.
These are real roles.
That's exactly what it is, though,
For
isn't it?
now. But man, I'm bummed that I couldn't be there with you guys when you filmed your stuff.
There's been so much
It's
stuff I feel like
so good.
on the internet. There's so much like talk about what's being filmed, and I think that's you guys have kept a complete secret that you were up there and you filmed your roles by now, obviously.
Well, keeping secrets with this franchise is kind of old hat. Like we've had
Except for today.
Except for the day.
Yeah.
except for the date. It was one of the hardest things for us to do is to not let people know that because we're so proud of it and the work that we did. We worked hard. The crew. I have to say, when I walked out on set, to be met with literally every person that I met on that crew is such a fan of this game, and they all knew what it was that they were working on and committed to working on this project because of their fan and their love for the game was one of the greatest. It was like I was coming home to friends.
Yeah, I the attention to detail, the crew was amazing. Bella and Pedro are they're so perfect, and we've been trying to sort of describe that feeling of sort of seeing them in person. It's like the characters coming to life, but it's so much more than that. I feel like I can't fully explain it, but I am so excited.
You can say it's trash. It's okay.
And it's just, I can't wait to see it. I think it is
You ain't gotta beat around the bush.
so good. It's I love the story. I love just being a part of.
I'm so excited about the series and the fact that you guys are going to be in it and undisclosed roles. I'm so fascinated how it's going to sort of bob and weave and you know, are these characters we know from the game that they're playing new characters? Can you tell us anything?
Yes.
I can tell you.
So sneaky. All right. Well, we're so excited.
Maybe it's already on Twitter by now.
So you be on Twitter. So okay, I know you seen it.
About the idea, or really what's happening is it looks like you guys
Troy,
are
playing Joel.
the original game. And this is like a ground-up remake. Is that right?
That's right.
That'd be hilarious.
People the definitive version of the first game that wasn't encumbered by any technology. Wanted to find a way to get even closer to our original vision, and we're able to do it on the PS5 and PC. And instead of talking about it, let's look at it.
All right, let's take a look at The Last of Us Part 1.
Oh, we already seen this.
But Troy playing Bill.
You know, he gonna be David. Troy gonna be David.
He might be. Yo, he might be.
But man, cause I know the first game was limited with like they limited like a ton of animations and stuff. So, bro, I'm excited to see like some new animations.
Ooh,
like probably. Like what?
Like they're gonna touch up the gameplay, aren't they? Cause like
no, a remake is finna it's rebuilt. Like it's a rebuild. Like it's yeah. Like that's the thing. Like a remake is completely. It's like you get the same story, but it's like new code, new all of that. Like everything's different.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's one thing I can say, boy. You couldn't beat the second gameplay on Last of Us 2. And I know that's what the kind of thing they wanted to do for Last of Us 1, but now that they're able to.
Yeah, like the animations for Last of Us 2 it's crazy how many different, like they have options for every movement you make.
One of my favorite games of the past decade. Guys, what's your reaction to that?
Yeah,
and I made a thumbnail for this
in real time.
this video.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
I mean, these performances you did a decade ago.
Yeah.
You didn't go back in. I mean, you used the original performances.
Yeah, actually, we came up with a process where we could take the original animation that we did for the faces and kind of like retarget it on these new rigs that have a lot more fidelity. And then the animators went back and studied.
Bro, look at that, man! Look, man, stop playing with Naughty Dog, man. Look at the hair. Like
look at that, like the face, like
bro. To the left,
like...
she looks like she should be in like Tangled on the left. She looks Pixar and over.
Pixar. That's a person. That's a whole person,
bro. Look at the scar. Oh my god.
They did good. They did good. Like she looks much more.
This is a whole build. Yeah, like it literally looks like she de-aged from the second game.
Like that's her younger.
Yeah, this is they put that.
And that was one thing I was saying. Like the whole thing with Joel being older. I guess it makes like they were trying to.
Oh, I know they're gonna show Joel too.
Just how much it has changed that you went and you redid the models and rebuilt everything.
Everything was rebuilt from the ground up. Same art.
Dang,
yeah, bro. He looks old.
And I guess
he even looked hunched. He even looked hunched over.
Like the time difference between the first game and the second game was only what, like 4 years.
Yes.
So it's like in the second game he looks much older, like all gruff and gray and everything like that. He wouldn't have got like on the remastered one, like he wouldn't have got all that gray hair from that black hair in 4 years. So I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, but he wasn't too gray in the second one. He looked older, but he wasn't.
He was older. He was very gruff.
But the thing is, like
between the first one and the second one, like the difference was 4 years, but he looked like he had aged 10.
See, but the difference between the first game, you remember it fast forward 20 years.
No, I'm talking about like in the regular gameplay. Like that's how he looks in the regular gameplay on the first game.
To the one on the right?
No, the one on the left.
Yeah. On the first one, yeah. That's what he looks like.
Yeah, so like between like the regular gameplay of the first one and the story of the second one, like it's only been 4 years, but he went from that to all gray and everything. Like he looked like he aged 10 years between in that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like this, the one on the left looks
like that's how he should look back when he had Sarah.
This looks like to the left. When he had Sarah, he was probably in his 20s.
It was some years ago, like 20s, early 30s, but that's how he looked in that one.
like if you go back to like the cutscene where he's with Sarah, like bro, he has like black, like his hair is black. Like, he's a young dude, like young construction worker.
But even then, like the difference between him having Sarah and like the actual gameplay, that was what, like 20 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, he sure as heck wouldn't still have no black hair after that.
No, definitely. But I'm saying compared to the Part 1 remaster, he looks old. Like, he looks like Part 2 in the remake.
I think that's what they're going. Like they're trying to get him closer to his Part 2 because it was closer in time. Like, it was only 4 years apart.
Yeah.
It's like 4 years earlier than like Last of Us 2. He wouldn't have had no black hair. That man would have been grayed out.
Yeah, but he's gray in the remaster. Like he has gray, but I'm talking about like bro, his like you see like around the eyes, like he has like the wrinkles and stuff like around the nose area in the remaster. But in the remake, like bro, this man got liver spots, crow's feet.
Yeah, I think that's that's as old as he should look.
Like and they're trying to get closer to the Part 2. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. But yeah, they aged my boy.
Director, we architected the whole thing from the ground up. The great thing about these faces is that they're closer to the original performance. All the animators went and studied those videos and got it closer to what you did on set than we could have achieved before. And that's just like one of the things we could talk about, like this brand new AI, like all the combat is redone.
New AI, new combat,
fidelity of everything.
Sure. I know for a fact they touched that.
Again, we wanted to give, knowing because of the show, because they're all new players for PS5 and PC.
Where my baby
we wanted to
Marlena?
have a definitive version of The Last of Us.
Amazing. Well, now you guys get to replay. I mean, when was the last time you guys played the game?
I actually played it again just to refresh my memory before working on the show.
I was just a glutton for punishment, and I went straight from playing Part 1 straight into Part 2. And so the last time that I played literally would have been 2 years ago, since we're celebrating the anniversary of Part 2 coming out. So I mean, it looks like I'm definitely going to be up for another playthrough with this.
Sure, to play games.
I can't. You guys did such an amazing job on that original game, and
it's really, when you play it, when you see it in motion, it's really night and day from what it used to be.
I imagine that think of The Last of Us 2 combat, but kind of that back in The Last of Us 1.
Well, it's the whole, like, all the new animation system, the new AI.
This man don't play games.
On Uncharted 4, Last of Us
it's like
2,
listening to recordings of yourself singing.
Version. Just to give a quick shout out, this project is headed up by Matthew Gallant and Shauna Skye. Okay. And you'll hear a lot more about it and see a lot more about it over the coming weeks leading up to the release September 2nd on PS5.
All right.
Where's Gustavo?
Neil, you've talked a lot about.
He made the score for
What are you directing? You still making
like
games?
He built a whole instrument to make the score for The Last of Us.
My day job.
Let's hope they kept him on.
It's a little early to talk
at least
about
got
it.
his
Maybe
score
someone
team.
wants to leak it, then we can talk about it now. Otherwise, we'll save it.
But you do have a new project.
Do have a new project, but we'll save it for another Summer Game Fest.
Okay. Okay, well, we'll see. We'll try.
See, that's why I appreciate Jeff, man. He's poking this man because Neil don't like to talk. He don't, bruh. Like, man,
Jeff, like Jeff, you were not leaving the stage until you made it.
Jeff was like, "Hey, you got work." You said you said new projects, multiple people. So what? You got anything you working on? He's trying to give us something, man.
We all waiting here, Neil. I'm sitting here
Neil
waiting.
Like, you'll hear next Summerfest. You gonna make us wait a year to say you working on something?
Like, fam,
you already said you're working on something. Just say yes.
It's like
just say yes.
If you gonna tease it, at the very least, just give us an ETA. If not, don't tease it.
Just say yeah. He's like, yeah, we were able to work on multiple projects at once. And he's like, oh, you working on multiple projects? What's the next project?
What else you got in the pipeline?
What do you work? He was like, yeah, we're working on.
You brought this up, Neil.
He could say 2 story games or X amount of story games or.
He hadn't said nothing at all.
This man said next Summerfest. Man.
It's like you teasing, Neil. So either give us an ETA or be content with leaving us hanging for another year.
Or 2.
Or 3, judging by this time.
Bill, thank you so much for dropping by Summer Game Fest, and I am so excited that The Last of Us is returning, as you said, in September. So thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Jeff.
Awesome. All right, well, that is going to do it. Thanks to Naughty Dog and PlayStation for that very special.
Man, oh man. Man, oh man.
Yeah, I kind of want some words with Neil now too.
Bro, like it's literally been 2 years.
Like,
And he didn't say nothing about factions. Then he come up here with a not even a screenshot. With some concept art.
That's my issue with it. It's like, fam, if you didn't have anything to say, then don't come up here, man.
Like he came up here like, yeah, we're working on it. You're gonna hear about it next year.
We're working on it. Like, thanks, Neil. I could have inferred that, Neil.
We knew. We just want to know, when is it coming, bro? When is it coming?